All right, people. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday. It is August 28th, 2024, 9:14 p.m. Central Time. Again, this is a second take because the audio sounded no bueno.
Oh, it's the
But
first take. What are you talking about? We're professionals here. First take, first take.
first take, skill. No, it's the wrong show. But anyways, we are back, people. We are here. This is the experience. I am Drew, and with me as always.
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
All right, people. We got a nice little show tonight. A big chunk of it will be doing predictions for this week, for the week in wrestling, for Bash and Berlin, also NXT No Mercy. So that's going to take up a big chunk of our show. We're not gonna really be reviewing the Monday Night Raw and NXT and SmackDown. We're gonna kind of do it, but not really. We're gonna incorporate them into our predictions as far as like things that were a big part of the shows this weekend. So we're gonna do that. Um, talk a little bit about Dynamite. Well, and by we I mean Justin if he's up to it, and
Oh, I
some
mean,
and some
just
news, and some news, and some news.
yeah.
There's always news, TV ratings, and whatever we have in store. So let's get going. We'll start
But
off.
before we do that, let's not just
Well,
rush into
I
things. We're
I
rushing
know.
into things. Well, I want to ask you how you doing. Let's shoot the shit. I'm
I
pretty sure people like to hear us shoot the shit before we get into things
we'll,
here.
we'll we'll just call this segment "Shoot the Shit" before we get into wrestling. I'm doing fine. I'm doing
Yeah.
okay, sir. It was my day off. Wednesdays and Thursdays are my day off or
Did you
relief
do
days.
anything today?
Wasn't really too much to do because it was raining. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
went to Walmart, got cat food
Ooh.
and some snacks for us, and it's really about it. Went to QT, got a blue raspberry slushy and a BLT
Oh
grilled
man, yeah,
cheese.
I'm staying away from that shit, like the snacks and sugar and shit, man. It's been making
I
a difference for me. So
I try,
damn.
man. I try. I usually try to do at least once a week. Once a week. Try to stick to water. As you
Yeah,
guys know,
once a
I'm
week
going to
is
the
cool.
gym.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
As you guys know, I'm going to the gym. I know. Yesterday I got a pretty good workout in. Tried that. Not. It's called an ab machine, but it's called something else. But yeah, I worked on my abs, and
The
I was
exfoliator. I don't know.
sore as a motherfucker as soon as I got out. But sore is good doing a
Yeah,
workout.
yeah. If you're sore, that means you had a good workout.
So other than that,
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty good. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Probably pay our light bill, but other than that,
yeah, that's fun. I bet.
yeah, we gotta. If we like running electricity and water and internet, then we got to be poor. As long as we're living in a nice house and not in a box. Depending on the
Yeah.
box, though. But
Yeah.
how are you doing, my friend?
Good, man. Good, good, good. I had a good weekend. I mean, well, obviously, we were on the podcast Sunday for the all in review, but yeah, this week so far so good. Can't complain. Shop's good. Had a pretty decent day. It was slow, but still had a pretty decent day. Nothing of note happening. Just same old, same old. I know it's pretty boring, but legitimately nothing like has really happened to where I'm like, oh, then go to see a movie. There's no new video games out. Nothing interesting that's happened. So
Right.
but yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to this weekend because this weekend we have a '90s con
Nice.
at the mall. So like Jonathan Lipnicki is gonna be there. We all know who Jonathan Lipnicki is, right?
Yeah, Jerry Maguire. Jerry
Yeah, Jerry
Maguire.
Maguire,
Was
Stuart
he in
Little.
Stuart? I was gonna say Stuart Little.
He was in Like Mike too.
Like Mike, yeah, he played the friend, the best
Yeah,
friend.
let me see. So we have Jonathan Lipnicki, Hannah May Lee. Apparently she's in Pitch Perfect 1 and 2 in The Babysitter, don't know. Alexis Knapp from Pitch Perfect. Never seen Pitch Perfect, so I can't really tell you. Then there is Luke Edwards from The Wizard. So have you ever seen The Wizard back in the day?
The Wizard, was that the one with Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh no, that was the
Oh,
Wiz.
you know
The
what? You
Wiz.
know what? You're thinking about the Wiz. Yeah. I thought you were thinking about what's that fucking movie? Moonwalker.
Ah, Moonwalker.
In
Yeah.
the video game. But anyway, no, the Wizard. It was basically a fucking movie dedicated to. It's a movie that was in theaters, and it was basically a, how should I say, a big 1.5 hour long trailer for Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES.
Right.
It's pretty much what it was. But like the kid genius in the game, yeah, he's gonna be there. So I might want to meet him. But he's also in Jeepers Creepers too. So anyway, but yeah. Maurice Bear knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was a pretty much a fucking Nintendo commercial. They had the Power Glove. I love the Power Glove so bad. Yeah, it was more of a commercial than a trailer. But yeah, but that was the first time anyone saw Super Mario Brothers 3 was in that movie. Where he's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Good on 1990. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
we're ready to talk some wrestling. I'm assuming.
So we're gonna start it off kind of with a downer. So it was announced.
Or start with news. Okay, cool.
Yeah, news. It was on, I believe, Monday. Was
Monday,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, Monday. Actually,
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. There you go. It was announced by the son, Gunnar Yudi, who, if you know the name Yudi, that was the real life name of Sid Justice, or Sid Justice, Psycho Sid,
Sid
Sid
Vicious.
Vicious, whose real name was Sid Yudi. His son put on social media on Facebook that his father had passed away. He was known as Psycho Sid Vicious to the world. To our family, he was simply Popper, the beloved grandfather. Sid was diagnosed with congestive heart failure in 2016 and
Mm-hmm.
atrial fibrillation, better known as AFib, around the same time. He was also given a pacemaker. In April 2021, he was diagnosed with stage 4 non Hodgkin's lymphoma, which was linked to a Roundup weed killer. Although he never told anyone his fight against cancer, Sid lived his life to the fullest, attending the gym, boxing classes, making appearances for his fans, and of course, T-ball games for the kids. He passed away peacefully in his bed, leaving behind a legacy of strength and determination. I've never met anyone with a fraction of the strength as my father. He was truly one of a kind. On Monday, Gunnar Yudi announced his father's death. Um, and then just talking about Sid's accomplishments in wrestling. Um, yeah, man, Sid, Psycho Sid Justice, Vicious, good, but went by many names. Sadly passed away. Um, I mean, it's weird because like most recent photos I did see of him, he did not look sickly at all. Like he looked like he was built like an ox. 6'9" dude, always looked like a superstar. Um, yeah, man. Just what do you think? What are your thoughts on Sid Vicious or Sid
It
passing
is
away?
as I mentioned many times. If you guys are new around here, if you're watching live on YouTube, youtube.com, the Drew Yari Experience. Um, my very first pay per view I ever saw was 1992 Royal Rumble, and Sid was integral part of the 1992 Royal Rumble. He was the last eliminated by Ric Flair, and basically started the feud with Hulk Hogan building up to WrestleMania 8. So I was very familiar with Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid very early on. He's always been one of my favorite big men of all time. Just because of his unique look, for one, the curly blonde hair. No one had a look like him, and just how he's so built and jacked, and like he seemed like he was legitimately crazy, like a psycho. And like the promos he would cut, and like half the time you didn't really understand what he was saying, but that's what was so appealing about him was Sid. And he I remember one of the things I remember him most was obviously the 1996 Survivor Series, him coming in Madison Square Garden. Looking at the time, I was booing him because I was a big Shawn Michaels fan, right? Um, but looking back at it, man, like I think that was like the most over he ever was. Like 1996, Sid, when he came back, because a lot of people forget he came back in 1996 in the summer when the Ultimate Warrior decided to go fuck off and leave the WWF. So Sid came back and he eventually got put up into the main event picture, feuded against Shawn Michaels, and won the WWF title. Lost it to Shawn Michaels in 1997 at the Alamo Dome for the Royal Rumble, and he was a very important part for WrestleMania 13 because you know he beat Bret Hart on Raw for the WWF Championship, and that was the promo that Brett cut. You know what I mean, with the cage half up, and he pushed Vince McMahon down, and he's like, "Fuck, you ain't the goddamn word for it." You know what I mean? So so he was very important. Well, he main event WrestleMania 13, main event WrestleMania 8, and even him in WCW, he was in the main event picture. He was the WCW champion during the Vince Russo era. So, it's very I think he's very underrated nowadays. Obviously his mainstream career came to an end when he broke his leg at Sin, and
Boy,
I saw Nitro the next night with Tony Schiavone over the commentary, and I was like, "Oh my god." And for some reason, I don't know why, my dad, he was in the military, right? He used to like bring me like these floppy disks, believe it or not, they used to have videos on them and like little images on them or whatnot. And he sent me one and he was like, "Oh, have you ever seen this before?" Like, yeah, I've seen this before. So I used to watch it a lot of fucking times on my PC just because like that was like before like obviously streaming or whatnot. I was like, oh, let me watch this break his leg. Sadistic, I know. But yeah, no, it's sad that how his mainstream career came to an end. And not too many people know this, but like, do you know who he powerbombed after he came back to wrestling at an indie show? His very first powerbomb?
I just saw this today. It was a even before he became El Generico, Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, yes, yeah. That was like 2002 or something like that. 2003, wherever it was. So yeah, he came back for like the Raws and stuff, but like again, he never was really treated as like that top guy that he was. 1992 feud, he main event against fucking Hogan. He didn't even job to Hogan either. So that tells you where Vince had in mind for him. He was the first guy to not job to Hogan at WrestleMania. Everyone else jobbed to him. You know what I mean? Everyone else jobbed to him in some fashion. Bundy, Andre, Macho Man, Warrior. I'm sorry, Warrior beat Hogan, but so he was one of the few guys to actually to not job to Hogan. But the main event at WrestleMania 13. So 1996. I'm gonna remember most of about 1996, 1997. His run in WCW the second time around. Obviously, everyone knows like the funny stuff from Sid or whatnot, but and that's really what's all it's talked about. But that really, to me, like you really should be looking at the positivity. I add that as a positive thing if you want to think about it. But like his stuff they used to do on TV, he had a very damn good power bomb. His choke slam was fucking tremendous. That one arm choke slam looked very rough and rugged and I'm at times unsafe, but that was Sid was, man. Like he was just you saw what you got with them. So rest in peace to Sid, man. That one hurts. You know what I mean? But it's something about these August, this August every year. It seems like we lose somebody of this stature, and obviously last year we lost Bray and Terry Funk, and this year we lose Sid, man. So it never gets any easier seeing your childhood heroes pass away. So rest in peace, Sid.
Yeah, over the weekend it was the year anniversary of Bray and Terry Funk, and it's kind of off topic. Today is the 4th anniversary of Chadwick Boseman passing away. Black Panther. So, but yeah, for Sid, I feel bad because I didn't really get to enjoy his career like you did. I didn't start watching wrestling until '97, and it's funny because there was this kid I knew in kindergarten who was a big wrestling fan. I remember he actually stayed over at my house once, and he actually brought wrestling toys, and he brought like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, and one of them was Psycho Sid, and Sid was always someone who kind of stuck out on my mind because he looked like something. Like there's always that thing about the airport test of like, if you see somebody that has a unique look, you're like, hey, that guy looks like they can be somebody. That guy looks like an athlete or a wrestler. And Sid, again, I know, just being honest, some of Sid's matches I watched, I wasn't the biggest fan, but I always acknowledge that the guy looked like something. And yeah, he had a sick power bomb. Like that power bomb, I don't think anyone can do it like him. But yeah, he always had that look of like he looks like the almost like the prototype of what a wrestler should be. And we lost Justin for a little bit. What happened? Get him back.
No, just keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. People are watching. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, I got something. I lost the people. Okay, I'm back. No, but I was saying like, Sid is like was almost like the prototype of what a wrestler should be or look like at least. So I didn't really get to start enjoying his stuff until like when he did his second run in WCW. I did watch old tapes of WWF and WCW. Um, of course, like the WrestleMania main event against Hogan, and it's
He
right.
was the
Like you're
last
right.
one to. He was the last one to. On the barbershop with Bruce Beefcake. He ended the barbershop, destroyed it.
Right. And like I don't know I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think you might have said that, you know, they really did think the world of him, and it almost seems like they kind of took him for granted as far as like, this is a guy who should have, main event WrestleMania like 10 times. I think Kevin Nash kind of alluded to that Sid didn't really want the spotlight as much as people might have thought he wanted it. Because I know like there's a story where like Vince was like literally offering him like Hogan's spot, and Sid's response was like, "Well, that's cool, but I think the money's in me being a heel." And Vince was like, "No, but I want you to be in this spot. I think you're perfect for this spot." He's like, "Well, it's all well and good, but I think the money's in me being a kick-ass heel." And Vince is just like, "All right, whatever." But yeah, man. And of course I mean, we shouldn't remember this, but unfortunately we do. Just that, that injury, that leg injury, which he was able to bounce back from it not too long after that. So, but I mean, just anytime you did see the dude like out of wrestling and off camera and around his family, he just seemed like he was in a good mood. Like he just seems like that guy you'd want to be around. And he just always came off as very chill and relaxed in like interviews I would see him in. So, um, yeah, man, just R.I.P. to Sid, obviously to his family, friends, anyone that knew him. Um, he's more than likely going to be in the Hall of Fame pretty soon.
The
Um,
shame he should have been in Hall of Fame years ago, but
which is weird.
whatever. Whatever.
Which is weird. Which is weird. WWE's weird like that because like they had all those years
It's
to
not
put.
weird. It's not that they're weird. It's fucking politics.
I don't know. Like they had all those years to put Vader in the Hall of Fame, and then they waited till he died, and then now they're gonna do the same thing with Vader. Not Vader, Sid. So I don't know. It's just fucking weird. But yeah. R.I.P. to Sid. Another part of our childhood growing up in the Attitude Era, the golden age of WCW, WWF. So all right,
He was also Four Horsemen too.
Four Horsemen.
Immediately. Well, actually, the Sid version of the Four Horsemen was. I will say it's probably top 4 or 5 maybe versions because there was a ton of versions of Four Horsemen. So yeah.
And he was also a part of that infamous Shockmaster segment. So yeah, along with Sting. But anywho, uh, before we get into Bash at Berlin and also the shows, what happened on Dynamite tonight?
So Dynamite tonight. So remember, I said, hey, we need to have follow up, right? Follow up. And the first hour of Dynamite was awesome. I really enjoyed the first hour of Dynamite. Did you watch any of Dynamite whatsoever tonight?
I saw a clip of John Moxley coming out. Apparently they changed. Apparently he's not doing Wild Thing anymore. And
Well, it's his. They're using his New Japan theme, the Death Rider theme. So yeah.
I see. And now he's mad at Darby Allin for some reason. That's about as much as I know.
Yeah. So basically, I kind of. It seems like he's gonna be a heel. He's not part. I don't think he's gonna be part of the Blackpool Combat Club. And the key thing that he said here is that he was talking to Tony Schiavone. He did call out Darby Allin. We'll find out why. But he said to Tony Schiavone, "This is not your company anymore. This is not your company anymore." I'm intrigued. Now, I'm going to say that I became a little bit less intrigued on who got involved with them later. I'll tell you that in a second. But this could be, not saying for sure, but this could be, and I'm not the only one that's going to be saying this too. This is on, all over Twitter too. Possibly the introduction of Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I did see that.
Possibly the introduction of Shane McMahon. So I'm intrigued. I want to see where this goes. So brought back Jon Moxley. Seems like he's more pissed off, which I like. More serious, which I like. It's calling out Darby Allin. We'll see where that leads, and we'll go from there. That's number one. Number two, we do have matches set up for All Out. Remember, follow up. The follow up to Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale wants to do a Chicago street fight. You got Hangman and Swerve, which I thought was a pretty damn good promo, and also a good match against him and Ishii. They're gonna do a steel cage match at All Out. All right, it's deservedly so, right? Number 3. I don't know how I feel about this as of yet. Obviously, we knew this was gonna go in this direction. Daniel Garcia is calling out MJF. Obviously, they may get their match at All Out. I don't know how I feel about it, just because I just don't believe Daniel Garcia as that guy there. But what I will say is that at least Tony Khan's trying to get new people over. Whether it works or not, I'm just not there yet. I just don't really believe him on the mic. In ring wise, great. I really like him in ring. On the mic, charisma, I don't know, but he did show some fire tonight that I haven't really seen before. So, so I will give it a pass on that. Then after that, first hour was good and gone. The Jericho appreciation. I was gonna say appreciation.
Whoa. He hated Jericho so much that his camera froze. Justin. Just call them the Jericho Buzzkill Society. Oh boy. Jericho got to Justin. Hold on, let me get all of them. All right. Well, he's out a little bit. So this is awkward. Yeah, as you guys can imagine, I did not watch Dynamite, so I have no idea how to take it from here.
All right, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now. Yeah, Discord's just been freezing me up today, so my bad about that. Where was I? When
Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh yeah, so they did the 8-man tag, right? Roddy Strong is gonna be going after the FTW title.
Oh goody.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Get rid of this fucking useless title. It doesn't mean anything. So it was Hook with the conglomeration versus the Learning Tree with Roddy Strong. So he attacked Hook after the match, and there you go. But I did get a I did get a confirmation on Hook's height. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat, but that's the link, and I'll just copy and paste it here, and you know, it's very
Oh
interesting.
God.
I will say that 6 foot tall.
Anyways, continue.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's 6 foot tall. So, so yeah. Hook's 6 foot tall, and yeah. Pretty much after that, you had So for the rest of the show, I will say this: you had the very end with well, actually Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher, good match. Wasn't a great match or anything like that, but it was a very good match, I thought. But you had Danielson come out, basically trying to tease retirement, and Lord behold, Jack Perry seems to be the first challenger for Danielson at All Out. So it looks like we're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry at All Out. TNT champion versus AEW World Champion. So
Okay.
yeah. So but I thought outside of the Jericho stuff, thought Dynamite was an enjoyable show tonight. I recommend anyone to catch up on it. Like I thought it was definitely an enjoyable show. Probably get 7 out of 10. Nothing fantastic, but I thought they did the right things coming out of the show. There was follow up. That's all I can really ask for. But it seems like again Jack Perry and Danielson is going to be your AEW World Championship match at All Out. It's a big opportunity for Jack Perry. So we'll see how that comes out of that. So.
All Out's next Saturday, right?
I believe so. Let me see. AEW All Out because it's usually Labor Day weekend, so it's the 7th. Yeah, so it'll be next Saturday. Yep.
So are we doing a review show for that?
Uh, it's up to you. It's your show.
I mean, it's your show just as much as it is my show. So do you want to do?
What do you get? What do you think, guys? Should we do? We'll let the chat decide if y'all want to. Do y'all want to see that? Yes or no? Put it in the chat.
Depends on how many matches there are and if it ends late. If it ends at like 11
Oh well,
p.m., no. But if it ends
well,
at like
you know what time it's gonna end. So
yeah, if it ends at like a reasonable time and it's AEW, so
it's all out. It's gonna end after 11 o'clock.
okay, so then we can just save that for like a Wednesday show review.
Sure.
So, but that's I mean, if you guys want us to do a review show after the show, God bless you. Maybe we'll think of something, but more than likely we'll have to save that for like a Wednesday show review. But anywho, so big wrestling weekend this weekend. We got Saturday, we got Sunday. Saturday is I keep calling it Bash at Berlin. It's Bash in Berlin. Bash in Berlin. First big pay-per-view in Germany in a long. When's the last time there was a pay-per-view in Germany, if you remember?
Don't know. I don't think there was one.
Does anybody remember if there was ever actually a pay-per-view in Germany? If
Maybe
anyone knows,
WCW back in the day, but yeah.
yeah, just put it down in the chat. So WWE Bash in Berlin. It's going to be this Saturday. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 Eastern. So it's an early pay-per-view. We will be covering that at 7:30 p.m. Central this Saturday. RJ said he'll be joining us, so
Sure.
we'll be having RJ on.
So okay, I was right.
What happened?
Millennium Final. November 16, 2000. Oh boy, WCW.
That was a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Okay. Anywho, so Bash in Berlin this Saturday, August the 31st. Will be in Berlin, Germany, in the Olber Arena. So far, there's 5 matches announced. It looks like that's kind of the way it's going to go. We'll start from the bottom. We have
Now
the
we're here.
WWE. Start from the bottom. Now we here. Wait, we're quoting Drake lyrics. Oof.
He's fucking terrible, but still.
Yeah, I was never really a Drake fan. But anywho, WWE WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, you have the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Aladon, versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I'm guessing they're going to put the titles back on Bianca and Jade, or they're going to try and kickstart this heel turn with, I'm assuming, Jade against Bianca.
Think Jay will turn heel?
On paper, it looks like that's how they're going to go. I would
Yeah.
prefer it be Bianca, but I don't know if that seems like a big risk even for them, for Bianca, because Bianca
Right.
is their, at the end of the day, she's their top woman. She's the woman that does the Make-A-Wish Foundations. She does the, the autograph sessions. I mean, she just came out in the new episode of Bel Air, the Fresh Prince reboot. So I don't know. Like, I would much prefer her to be the heel because it seemed like a more fresher idea.
I understand.
Um, but I think they're gonna go with Jade because that's safer.
Yep.
I don't, but that's just my opinion. What do you think?
I think. Hmm. This is the toughest one, obviously. Believe it or not, I think it's the toughest one. But I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Unholy Union.
Okay,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Unholy. The Unholy Union.
I'm gonna go with them too because I like them. I like
I thought you were going with Jade and Bianca.
no. I was saying that I was kind of going like with different scenarios of like I think they're gonna put it on them or they're gonna kickstart this heel turn, whoever's gonna turn heel. But um yeah, like you, I'm kind of baffled. Like I don't know who to choose because lately WWE has been kind of going against the grain of like, we're gonna make it think that we're gonna go the obvious route, but then we're gonna do this. Um, hmm. I'm gonna keep it on the Unholy Union because I like them and I don't want them to just have like a short title reign. And I don't really care for these women tag team titles, but you got to make them feel special at least. So keep it on them because they're starting to get a little momentum. Um, as far as like who's gonna turn on who, or even if there is gonna be a heel turn, again, they're gonna go, I think they're gonna go the safe route and keep it on and have what's her name, Jade be the heel and Bianca is the face, which I'd much rather prefer Bianca to be the heel, but that's just me. All right, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. Um, I forgot what happened on Monday. Yeah, Raw this past Monday was kind of a show. It was like it felt like they were kind of going through the motions of like we need a go home show, but it feels like we kind of already gotten everything we've needed in the past 3 weeks, so let's just kind of do something. And also, it was worth noting that like the majority of the bigger talent were on the Germany tour, so maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, for the most part, Raw was kind of mediocre, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of fell asleep in the middle of it. But
Hmm.
I did catch the Drew McIntyre promo, and then him and Punk coming out to I don't know, like it's weird to say a Punk promo or a Drew McIntyre promo is boring, especially now. But it just wasn't as strong as it was in the past few months, in my opinion. But
Hmm.
yeah, it just felt like we've already kind of said the fun stuff, so let's just kind of fight. I don't know, but yeah, this match, Drew won the first match. I'm assuming Punk is gonna win the second match, just so we can get to the rubber match, which I'm assuming is Hell in the Cell. But what do you think?
I got CM Punk. Think CM Punk needs to win. He hasn't had a win yet since he came back. This will be his second. Excuse me. This will be his second singles match since he's been back. Second real wrestling match since he's been back. So I think he deserves a win here. Wait, were you
So it's a
sleepy?
gimmick. No. Yeah, well, a little bit. But no, it's just yeah. This I mean, it's a gimmick match too, kind of like the first one, where the first one was a street fight, and Okay. The first one was a street fight, and this one is a strap match. And I mean, they're kind of doing the traditional strap match where you have to touch all four corners, which I think the last time they did that in WWE was Eddie Guerrero and JBL, right?
No, there was strap match after that.
No, but
Well,
I'm
then,
talking about
sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean like the traditional strap match of you need to touch all four corners.
Yeah, like didn't Orton and Dusty Rose had one?
That's right. Okay. That was in '07, right?
Yeah, I knew it was after. Yeah, let me see. Strap matches in WWE. Continue.
Yeah. Why do you think that was a Texas Bull Rope match? Which
It's
I guess.
it's still the same
Yeah,
concept.
I know. I was in my head. I'm thinking like, well, it's the same thing. But yeah. Uh, but yeah, but yeah,
It's like a no holds bar in a hardcore match. You
yeah,
know.
but you know what I mean. But yeah, this they're kind of bringing back traditional rules. Should be a fun match. I mean, it's Punk and it's Drew. Should probably be the match of the
And
night.
then we had a strap match last year at All Out. Danielson and Ricky Starks.
Oh, I'm talking about WWE, not
Oh,
AEW. But
oh, sorry.
well, I'm saying WWE usually doesn't do traditional wrestling match rules. Well, not in a while, but um, I'm wrong about everything, people. But anywho, yeah, Punk is gonna win more than likely. Next
Also,
is
here's another one: CM Punk and Umaga.
oh yeah, they did have a strap match.
They did a Samoan strap match.
That was in 2009, right?
Yeah, well, I think so. No, 2008 Extreme Rules, or 2009 Extreme Rules. Sorry, 2009 Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it was the same night that Punk cashed in Money in the Bank
Yep.
against Jeff Hardy, and then that kicked off Punk being a heel, which was some entertaining shit. So, all right, moving on. We have a mixed tag team match. We have the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, versus the Judgment Day, Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan.
Terror Twins.
I hate the name, but yeah, the Terror Twins. On Monday, you had a promo with
Why?
Dom.
Why do you hate the name?
It's kind of hokey. Like I get it. It's wrestling. Wrestling's supposed to be a little hokey, but it's a little too hokey for me.
Okay.
But that's just me. I mean, on Monday you had the promo with Dom, where of course he's getting booed out of the building, and at this point Dom doesn't even need to wrestle. He can just go out there and just have a microphone and get booed. But yeah, he got booed. He's going to be in the Intercontinental tournament, and then his dad came out, talked a little bit of shit, saying, "Let's slap that mustache off your face." And then it proceeded to have a match with I forget if it was a tag match or just Rey Mysterio versus Dom, but in the end, Judgment Day won, and there you go. And then, of course, the Terror Twins came out and caused a fight, which they got separated as usual, and there we go. Again, Raw was very uneventful. But yeah, Priest and Rhea are gonna win. Right? I mean, actually, hmm. You don't think there's gonna be some fuckery from Judgment Day?
I mean, can, but like, I really think that the baby faces should get it because it has been heels, 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 heels. The baby faces really hadn't really had a leg up on the baby faces.
Right. But I don't know. Like, I mean, this Judgment Day is kind of, I guess, not new, but they're somewhat new. I guess
Well, Terror
revitalized.
Twins, they're new. Don't you got
Mm-hmm.
put over? Don't you got put over the new twosome and Rhea Ripley? You know what I mean? The most popular women's star in the company. And Damian Priest, former world champion. They've been losing lately. They need a win, and this doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt Judgment Day either. Liv is still the champion. Dominic is, Dominic. You know what I mean? So he'll take his lickings here and there.
I mean, would it make more sense if like Finn came out and cost the match for Damien?
That would make sense. But So that will make sense, which will lead to a possible match at Bad Blood, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't we be getting that anyway, regardless?
Right, but that would kind of add more to the storyline because Finn's like, telling him straight up, like, I'm going to attack you when you least see it coming.
You know, he did that immediately when he said that. So
I don't know. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know,
change my pick.
I'm going Terror Twins like that. I'm just going
I'm,
Terror Twins. So,
I'm
did you
gonna go
want to change
Judge.
your prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Judgment Day. I think Finn's gonna come out and fuck over Damien.
If so, if that happens, that happens. Good for you.
All right, cool. Where we at next? Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship. Um, Obviously it's gonna be a good match. We've kind of already made peace. I don't want to say made peace, but like we've kind of already figured out what Cody's run is gonna be, and that's just to have dream matches and good wrestling matches. This is gonna be a good match. Cody and Kevin have wrestled before, like not just WWE, but like indies and stuff.
Well, Kevin Owens was already in WWE before Cody even hit the Indies.
Okay,
Yeah,
dumb question. Dumb question. Um, so they've never really had like a match before, even when Cody was like, you know,
I'm
Stardust
pretty
or
sure
whatever.
on house shows and stuff. Yeah.
So on paper, this should be the best wrestling match of the night. Maybe we'll see.
That's debatable.
But yeah, Cody's gonna win.
Kevin Owens.
Uh, Interesting note. So Kevin Owens, his contract runs up pretty soon with WWE. Um, what do you see him doing? Do you see him staying with WWE? Do you see him going? What do you think?
Oh, it's very interesting. He's best friends with the Young Bucks. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him on wanting to test his waters and going to AEW, but I mean, WWE also as well with his last contract gave him that WrestleMania opportunity. He may have been at WrestleMania 2 years in a row. So, you know what I mean? But if he goes over to AEW, I can see him being obviously he'll be in the main event picture. Do I see him as champion as Kevin Steen? Possibly so. I can definitely see that. But how likely is it with all the other roster? Because you got MJF, then you'll have Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, then you got Danielson, possibly maybe still, what we don't know, right? Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Okada. It's like you got a lot of names: Swerve, Hangman. It's getting muddied up there a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't know where Jack Perry is. You don't know if Tony Khan's going to, put him in the main event picture permanently. He's like, we're testing the waters at All Out. So will he be in the same position as he is right now in WWE? And will he be happy with that going over to AEW? He's a family man. That's one thing that we know about Kevin Owens. He is a family man, 100%. And AEW will probably give him the opportunity to spend with his family the most. So if his contract's up and he's getting a lot of money, similar to what he will be getting in WWE, and has the opportunity to spend more time with his family, who wouldn't want to take that opportunity?
Right. So I have a link here. He did an interview with Sports Illustrated. God damn it, I keep getting these fucking ads. Go away. Was with the Takedown on Sports Illustrated, and he mentioned that he currently has 9 months on his current WWE deal, and that it should expire in early 2025. Um, Also talked about his mom. He says she's doing a lot better. It got real scary for a while. Now she's home, so it's definitely positive. Everybody else is doing as good as they can, I guess. It's a lot better than it was in July. So his Mama Steen is doing okay, so that's good.
Good.
Um, as far as Kevin Steen goes, or Kevin Owens, whatever you want to call him, in his contract, um, this. I might give a shocking answer. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go to AEW, and I say this because I look at Edge, Adam Copeland. I know it's two different people, but hear me out. Edge had talked about whenever his contract ran up with WWE, he was given a new offer, but it was kind of the same. Might have been a little lower, but he had also talked about, you know, he thought he still had some energy left in the tank, and in WWE, he kind of just did everything he wanted to do. He wrestled everybody he wanted to wrestle. He looked at AEW as a as kind of the land of opportunity, and also getting to wrestle with Christian. With Kevin Steen, I keep calling him Steen, Kevin Owens.
Well, I mean, that's
Um,
his name, you know.
I know, but you know what I mean. But like Kevin Owens, look at everything he's done in WWE. He's main evented WrestleMania 2 years in a row. He wrestled Steve Austin. Steve Austin, who hadn't wrestled in almost 20 years, handpicked Kevin Owens as his first opponent in years, and they had a really good match. He's been a world champion. He's won pretty much every title in the company. He beat John Cena on his main roster debut, like cleanly, I may add. So he's done everything he's needed. He's done everything a wrestler can think of. And aesthetically, he's a guy that probably shouldn't have been as successful as he was in WWE. But he did, because he had Triple H in his corner. He had Shawn Michaels in his corner. So I look at it as like, kind of like how you just said, he's also a big family man. He loves his, you always see pictures of him with his wife, him and his wife at like Disneyland. He has 2 kids. He has a young girl and a son. And for AEW, it's like, hey, you want to make more money and work less states so you can be around your kids? He'd be a fool not to take that. So I could see him going to AEW because for him, it's just like, what else have I done in WWE that I haven't done? I could win the Royal Rumble, which he probably won't do. I can win King of the Ring, which he probably won't do. Maybe having another world title run, I don't see that happening in WWE personally to me. So him going to AEW, my biggest worry is he would get lost in the shuffle because, like you said, you look at AEW's main event scene, Moxley, Swerve. I don't know how long Danielson's going to be there. Kenny Omega, guys like those. For a guy like Kevin Steen, I'm saying Kevin Steen because that's the name he's more than likely going to go by as when he goes, if he does go to AEW. Where is he going to fit in there? Like, because personally,
At
I
the
think
end of
he's.
the day, after thinking about it, do you think he really cares?
I don't. I mean, because Kevin Owens just seems like a guy who's just very chill and loves what he does. Like, he obviously seems like he's happy in WWE, and also the new regime kind of is like night and day compared to the old regime, where they're like, hey, you love your family, you want to be off on Halloween, you want to be off on Christmas, you want to be off on New Year's Day, take those days off, be with your family. So yeah, I don't think Kevin Owens is a. I don't want to say ego guy because I think at the end of the day everybody has an ego, but I think for Kevin Owens, he's a guy who's like, yeah, I don't really care. I just want to. I love being in WWE. This is my dream job. I get to be around my friends. I get to make money. I get to work with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like, I don't really care. I want to be here. So again, it wouldn't surprise me if he wants AEW, but kind of like how you just said, I don't really think he cares. Like, he doesn't really take into account that kind of stuff that I'm thinking that he might take into account of. So that's just again that's just our opinion. But let's go back. So yeah, Cody Rhodes is gonna win. Cody, you picked Cody too, right?
No, I picked Kevin.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. All right. So what I'm ass-
No, no, of course
so what I'm assuming
no.
is the main event. What I'm assuming is the main event. Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship. If Orton wins the championship, he will be transferred to Raw,
You
and
mean
Gunther
Gunther
will be
versus Randy Orton?
Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. If Orton wins the championship, he will be transferred to Raw, and Gunther will be transferred to SmackDown. That's apparently a stipulation. Gunther, obviously. This will be a good match. This will be a really, really good match.
Oh yeah.
I thought the King of the Ring match was great. The ending, I was just it was a little wonky, but I like the fact that it plays into this match. So this will be great. Orton, 44 years old, it just is still able to go out there and still able to go with a lot of this young talent. And then Gunther's Gunther. Gunther's great. And he might even be my wrestler of the year so far. I don't know.
2 years in a row, huh?
Yeah, 3 years in a row, bud.
Oh, 3
Um,
years in a row. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know who my wrestler of the year in 2022 was. Might have been Gunther. I don't know. Might have been Gunther. Might have been Roman Reigns. I don't fucking know. But I know last year Gunther was Wrestler of the Year. But so Randy Orton, let's talk about something really quick. So Machine Gun Kelly was on Impulsive, Logan Paul's podcast. Talked about an incident, an alleged incident. I'll just say alleged, and I use that vehemently, where he apparently confronted Randy Orton backstage, and the story was that Randy Orton, I guess, had some things to say about Machine Gun Kelly that he didn't like, confronted him and said "F you," and that was kind of the gist of the story. Um, Randy Orton put up a tweet where he simply put up an emoji of Pinocchio's nose, or I guess like an emoji of just a nose with that's growing, and tagged Machine Gun Kelly. And then Machine Gun Kelly replied saying like, "You have my phone number," blah blah blah. Xavier Woods retweeted Randy Orton's tweet and said, "If I know one thing about Randy Orton, if someone was to actually curse him to his face, then that person would no longer have the ability to tell that story." So again, I just I heard that story from Machine Gun Kelly, and my immediate response was, "I'll take things that never happened for $600, Alex." Like, are you really going to confront Randy Orton to his face, especially now, jacked Randy Orton, who just towers over everybody? Like, I wouldn't confront Randy Orton at all. I mean, Randy Orton, granted, is a chill guy now, but are you really going to confront Randy Orton and tell him "fuck you" to his face? Like, come on. But do you have any thoughts on the story before we move on?
No, I don't care. I really
Yeah.
don't care about this story. Makes no difference to me.
Oh, okay. So, but that was our Bash in Berlin predictions. Like I said, we'll be doing a review this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. RJ will be joining us. Brooklyn Savage will be joining us. So
Hell yeah.
should be a fun ass show. So let's get to another show we'll be reviewing, and that's
Well, before we do that, can I just go over news real quick and just get this out the way?
of course.
All right. So, few news topics here before we do our NXT No Mercy predictions here. Uh, Coming from WrestleVotes, this is a convoluted story here. We're gonna get through and iron out the details, and we'll give our thoughts about it here. Coming from WrestleVotes yesterday, WWE Performance Center will be moving to Las Vegas in the near future. There was an employee meeting at WWE HQ in Stanford, hosted by Mark Shapiro, where people were informed according to a source. This was immediately backed up by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, saying that sources at the top of WWE and TKO tell Fightful that they are not planning to move the WWE Performance Center to Las Vegas. We're told that Mark Shapiro was making a point that Vegas is a destination and that having a presence there is on the table. And also coming from Dave Meltzer backing that up, Meltzer stated that those in WWE said that Shapiro talked about Vegas growth and of talked about Vegas growth of Vegas as a sports market in recent years, and that WWE should have a presence. Didn't say developmental moving there. So yeah, so this came out yesterday, a little bit of confusion there. So seems like as of right now, according to Sapp and Meltzer, that WWE is not moving to Las Vegas as of yet, but possibly could be in the future. Would you want to see the Performance Center move to Vegas, or do you think you want to keep it in Florida with down in Orlando?
I'd say keep it where it is. It's fine where it is. I kind of called bullshit on that because I did see that story and it's Russell votes, so I don't really take them that seriously. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna move the Performance Center to Vegas. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll say this: I wouldn't mind seeing a different scenery
Right.
for the NXT brand because the seeing things in Performance Center is kind of wacky, but they're also going to start going on the road too as well, so that should help. But yeah, I'm with you. I think you keep it in Florida, and also as well. I don't know about Nevada. Someone can probably tell me in the chat, but Florida doesn't have any state tax. Also, Texas. I think Nevada too. I don't think they have state tax either. But you got to keep that in mind too as well. And also moving your talent from from Florida all the way to Nevada because remember WWE pays for the talents. They pay for their talents residency. So that's a
Right.
huge deal down there in Florida. So I don't know if it's cheaper to move to the Vegas area. Probably not, because like my assumption, Vegas is one of the most expensive cities. And actually, no, getting food there is not expensive at all. So I think Vegas. I don't know as far as like residency if it's expensive or not. But again, too, you're moving. If let's say you're moving from Orlando to Vegas, that is very dangerous because you have all the nightlife out there and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know how smart that will be. So any additional thoughts before we move on?
I was gonna ask you something. So
Yep.
yeah, you'd said you wouldn't mind if they kind of moved away from Florida. Like, do you see them maybe doing something kind of like how they did with OVW before? And I mean that more like, back in the day they had OVW, they had was it Heartland Wrestling Association, HWA,
Right.
and then Smoky Mountain. Do you see them like maybe expanding NXT? Like, they have one in Florida, and then they have one in, like, let's say Texas. They have one in Ohio. Like, do you see them maybe doing something like that in the future?
I don't see the reason behind that.
Well, no, I asked that because you mentioned how Texas doesn't have a state tax and
Right.
Vegas doesn't have a state tax. Because I know they're doing NXT Japan. I think that's still a thing. So
It hasn't been official yet. Yeah.
so I,
I know there's been word about it, but I haven't heard anything about it in months.
it's just an idea. Like, it probably won't happen because it sounds maybe a little too convoluted and
It
maybe a
will be
little too
too
expensive.
convoluted, and you gotta like it's like, well, who do you have in charge of Texas? Who do you have in charge of Florida? Like you, and plus as well as like, what's the reason for Texas? What's the reason for Florida? Like, is it just to run different shows? Whenever you do the regular NXT show, do you bring people to the Texas one? Do you bring people to the Florida one? Do you bring people to the Nevada one? It's too much. It's way too much. And remember, WWE crew. There's only one WWE. Well, two technically, but production crew. Like, you know, where are you? Like, it's so. I think it's way too much. More money. You gotta build multiple stages.
Right.
Yeah,
Or
it's
what or what about it
three
or what about
rings.
expanding in Florida in general? Like, because I know they have one in Orlando. That's, the home base, but like,
Same thing.
uh,
There's no reason to
okay,
do it.
okay,
There's logistically there's no reason to do it whatsoever because everything's budget and costs money.
okay. No, it's just an idea.
Alrighty. Next story here we have Scott Demore has revealed that the former WWE commentator Mauro Ranallo will be returning to professional wrestling as the voice of Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. And
Mhm.
that's going to be Scott Demore's new promotion. And, a fellow Canadian and Mauro Ranallo will be doing the announcing. So I'm pretty happy for Mauro. I'm probably going to check out shows too just to see, obviously, see what kind of wrestlers they have. But I want to hear more Ronaldo. And, I was always a big fan of his. And I know he rugs some, rub some people the wrong way, but I like him for the most part. But what do you think about that?
I like Moro. I was always a fan of Moro. I don't know. I don't know. The selfish part of me wishes he was back in WWE, more so NXT. He's always been entertaining, and to see him with another company, I think that's cool because he's entertaining. Um, did you ever watch that documentary about him?
Yep.
Yeah, it was, really good. Really just uncomfortable to watch in some aspects.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah, it's very depressing, because he's bipolar, and unfortunately I've known people who are like that. But yeah, just again, I love Morrow. I really would love to see him with a major company. I know his big thing about the reason why he hasn't signed with any major companies is because he just doesn't like to travel.
Travel, yeah.
Um, and just again, I always thought he was unfairly treated. In WWE, like there's a whole thing with him and JBL, and the whole thing with him and Corey, which you know kind of made me lose a little respect for Corey. But yeah, just I'm glad to see Morrow back in a wrestling company in some aspect, and good to see Scott D'Amore do something too.
Absolutely. All right, and that moving on. Moving on. Did I exit out my last one? Hold on, sorry about that. Oh, there it goes. Um we have our new announced team starting in September. For WWE Raw, we have Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. For SmackDown, we have Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Pat McAfee plans to reunite with Cole on Raw once it moves to Netflix. So those are our new teams for the rest of the year. What do you think about that? I think Tessitore and Barrett is interesting because Wade Barrett is the veteran, but Tessitore is going to be the lead play by play. And I mean, he's a great college football guy. Like he's fantastic, right? I just really am curious to see how this all plays out with them on Raw. But it seems like WWE is very confident in him, putting him on the flagship Monday Night Raw. And Mike Cole, Corey Graves, obviously we know how they're gonna do. But really, mainly, what are your thoughts about this here?
Uh, I mean, I've never heard Joe Tessitore talk before, so I need to hear him first before I really make an assessment. You said Graves and Michael are going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do fine because they've done this like a million times together. I think it's pretty ballsy to put Wade and this new guy on Raw, because Raw's the flagship show. Um, so we'll see how they do. I like Wade. I mean, I obviously like Wade as a color guy. I mean, it's weird because I like Wade more as a color guy than I liked him as a wrestler. But yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Okay. Cool. All right. So moving on here. Terry Funk. We talked about Terry Funk a little bit earlier. He passed away 1 year ago. Dory Funk Jr. We know we're familiar with Dory Funk Jr. I'm sure Terry Funk's brother, former NWA champion. This guy's 83 years old, and he had a death match
Jesus.
this past weekend to pay tribute to his brother Terry Funk. There is a picture of him and Onita point up into the heavens and basically paying tribute to Terry Funk. So I don't know if you saw that, but it was like an exploding barbed wire death match.
Jesus. I,
God
I
damn.
I got, as you can imagine, I have nothing to add to that.
Oh man, Terry Funk, man, legend. All right, two more things here before we get it into the NXT No Mercy predictions here. Very quick note here. Humberto Carrillo resigned with WWE. That
Wait,
came
who?
out of Humberto Carrillo.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear
Re-signed with WWE. So that's coming out of Fightful Select. So good for him. Good for his family. Seems and WWE obviously still believes in him to have him re-signed. So good for him.
you.
Any
Cool.
thoughts about that before we move on to the last story?
No, I like Umberto Carrillo. I just kind of wish they'd use him more prominently. But yeah.
Last story here. This was from the AEW All In media call. Some people may have missed. Kind of what happened over the weekend over a great All In that can be lost in the shuffle here. But this happened before All In. I think it actually happened before a Rampage on Friday. But Tony Khan has confirmed that Ricky Starks is still under AEW contract as of right now. And that was from the AEW All In Media Call. So, not to say that Ricky's not going to be out of contract soon. Not to say that Ricky still may not be going to WWE. But as of right now, Tony Khan has confirmed that Ricky Starks is still under contract with AEW. So take that information for what it is. So, but thoughts about that before we move on to the predictions.
I don't know. Just the only thing I really care about Ricky Starks is that he is whenever his contract ends and he ends up in WWE. It's inevitable that he's coming to WWE. It's all a matter of when.
Any chances that Tony Khan can change Ricky Starks' mind?
Unless he promises him to be the world champion, but at this point, I think Ricky just wants out.
Yeah, I think so too. Think so too. All right. Well, that's all the news I had.
I have two news things. Um, they're kind of nothing, but Dave Batista was on. What the fuck was he on? Oh, Chris Van Fleet. He was on the Chris Van Fleet podcast and talked about being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He says, eventually I will, I want to, and there was a good opportunity for me to go in a couple years ago. And I agreed to do it. Hunter asked me to do it, and I said, yeah, of course. It was here in LA. I thought it was perfect. It was a storybook because I won my first title here in LA, and we couldn't figure out because I was working on a film. I was in South Africa, so logistically we just couldn't make it happen. But yeah, I'm still open to it, and one day I would like to. So he was supposed to go in the Hall of Fame in 2020, but for obvious reasons, pandemic, they couldn't make that happen. And yeah, last year, yeah, 2020. It feels weird saying last year because 2023 was such a long time ago. But yeah, last year he was. I was kind of what I was thinking that he was going to go in, and that's about it. But yeah, they just couldn't make it happen because Batista is a sought after actor in Hollywood, which you know is crazy to think about now. But Batista is as far as wrestlers goes, he's the better actor. I mean, he's the better actor. Rock's obviously the bigger star, but Batista's the better actor. So, thoughts about Batista going to the Hall of Fame pretty soon?
No thoughts. He should have been already.
Okay. You think Triple H is going to induct him?
Uh, Maybe or Orton, someone.
Cena. And lastly, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle made a comment with the New York Post and just talked about what's been going on in his life since being released from WWE. Talked about issues with Roman Reigns. Apparently, there was a thing a while back where Matt Riddle claimed he can beat up Roman Reigns, and there was a thing where both of them were supposed to appear on the jump, but Roman Reigns didn't want to because he heard the comments, and yeah, we all know what's going on with Matt. Matt tends to say a lot of dumb shit, you know, past, present, and currently. So, talk about his issues with Roman Reigns. He says, I think when he saw how professional I am in the ring, and I also explained why things were said, and I wasn't just trying to call you out. I know my place in WWE, but when someone tells me to cut a promo on you, I'm going to cut a promo on you. I think he understood that. Still wasn't happy about it, but understood. Me and Roman are good. And then said he's doing fine since he was released from WWE. So, any thoughts on Matt Riddle? Where do you think he's going to end up? Do you think he's going to come back to WWE? Thoughts?
None.
Okay. Then we got nothing else to talk about as far as news wise. I mean, we can do ratings or we could save ratings for last, and we can just do NXT now. So, all right, NXT No Mercy is this Sunday. It is in Denver, Colorado, in the Bowl Arena, September 1st, which is weird to think.
Home of the Denver Nuggets.
The world champion Denver Nuggets.
Well, they're not the
So
world champions no more, but
they still won the
I
championship.
mean,
Anywho,
okay, the Spurs are the world champions,
goddamn
right?
right, goddamn right we are.
I mean,
I still,
look. Yeah. Anyway,
Anywho, so far 6 matches are announced. Looks like that's gonna be the way it's gonna be. Right. So let me start first. Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker, singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. There was a segment on Tuesday on NXT where Jada Parker was being interviewed by Sarah Schreiber. Kind of gave not necessarily a babyface promo, but was kind of still kind of like in her Jada Parker attitude of like
playing
I know
babyface
right.
for this match. In order
Like,
for fans to actually be invested, you have to have a baby face and a heel. She's baby face for this match in particular.
right, but she was still kind of being Jada Parker in a way. Like she wasn't like waving the flag of saying like I'm a baby face, I'm good, I'm a good guy. Like she was still kind of
Tweener.
being right. There you go. Talked about how she used to be a soccer player and then she came to NXT 2 years ago. Then Roxanne came in and booted Sarah out of the interview, and then told Jada that was a pretty good promo, but I heard Lola say it, and then I heard Thea say it. You pretty much gave the same promo of like I'm humble and I'm here and blah blah blah. And then Jada told her straight up like I will slap you right across the face, and Roxanne says like to see you try. Jada gets up, slaps Roxanne right across the face, and with full power, I may add. And then she slaps her across the face, and you see Jada make eye contact. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Eye contact with somebody off screen says, what are you doing here? You can get some too. And then Roxanne notices somebody off screen, and her eyes widen up. And I'm assuming it's Julia, who was
It's
supposedly there.
most likely Julia, but it could still be Stephanie Vaquer. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them debuts this weekend.
Nice. It's more, but I think it's more than likely Julia. But yeah, I think you're right. I think both of them might debut this weekend. But good segment. But yeah, Roxanne Perez, Jada, Roxanne's more than likely gonna win,
Yep.
and then you're gonna see either Julia or Stephanie Vaquer debut after the match to kind of call out Roxanne. But should be a good match. Should be a good showing for.
It's a very big opportunity for Jada. Roxy, she's been being used to help get all these new, green women over. So like Jada, Thea Hale, like she's been putting in the work for sure.
Right, right, because she's gonna go to the main roster
Sam
pretty soon.
Paxley, you know what I mean?
Because she's gonna go to the main roster pretty soon. And then that's where Julia and Stephanie Vaquer are gonna kind of step in to be the ones that kind of mold everybody into shape, so to
Yeah.
speak. But yeah, Roxanne's winning. This should be a good match. I mean, this is obviously going to be the best match Jade's had, or Jada. I'm sorry. And I mean, they obviously think the world of Jada, and I like her too.
Yeah,
So
she's great. She's really developing, so and that's all you can really ask for.
next is the singles match for the NXT North American Women's Championship. Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu on Tuesday. Wendy Chu apparently had an opponent lined up for Kalani, which ended up being TNA's Rosemary, which that was pretty cool. See Rosemary in NXT. Um, so she wrestled Kalani. Kalani won. Afterwards, Wendy Chu came out and leveled Kalani, and it was just her and Rosemary kind of standing in the ring looking over Kalani's body. So I don't know. There's a part of me that's kind of conflicted about this match. Um, I love Kalani. I think the world of Kalani. I have a feeling that her title reign's not going to last that long. I think maybe not this match, but whatever match happens afterwards. But I don't know. This is hard. This isn't easy as I thought it'd be. But I'm gonna go with an upset. I'm gonna go with Wendy Chu winning.
Okay.
What do you think?
Like Kalani. Like I don't they're not taking time about Kalani Jordan right now.
Okay. Do you think?
There's no reason for it to happen.
Okay. Um.
I
Do you
think
see?
there's a possibility that Stephanie Vaquer could debut during this match, though.
You're right. I was gonna say that. Hmm. And more than that can be another opponent for Kalani.
And that's where she will lose. She'll lose title to Stephanie at that point.
Okay, I changed my pick. I'm gonna say Kalani wins this, and then Stephanie McCourt comes out.
I just need to stop making too much sense.
Yeah, you're making too much sense. It's not allowed here, Justin. Uh. Anywho, next is the singles match for the North American NXT Men's North American Championship. Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo. They had a segment on Tuesday where Obafemi raided Tony D'Angelo's restaurant, took his spot, confronted him, and yeah, it was a pretty nice segment. But this should be a good match. Tony D'Angelo, I don't think gets enough credit for being pretty decent in the ring.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, his segment, his gimmick is what kind of gets him over, but it's kind of like Mankind, where Mick Foley wasn't terrible in the ring, but he was passable in the ring, but his gimmick is what got him over. Kind of like this. So, but yeah, this should be a good match. Good Haas match. I'll put it that way. So, yeah, Oba's winning.
Yep, same thing. Obafemi's winning and he's retaining the North American Championship.
The conqueror of NXT. Next is you had a tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Chase University versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom in a rematch.
Chase
Yeah,
U's
yeah,
winning.
yeah. Chase U's winning. They're not gonna take it off and they just won it. So, and then you're gonna see the breakup of Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
Who's
So,
turning heel?
good
I hope
question.
it's Axiom.
That kind of looks that way.
I hope it's Axiom.
Kind of looks that way. Like Nathan
Say,
Frazier.
have him turn heel, have him take off the mask, and people already know how great he is in the ring, and he does have some charisma behind him, even behind the mask. But having him being a heel and having people actually caring about this feud, and I think people don't really want to boo Nathan Frazier either.
No,
He's so electric in the ring. I don't really think people really want to boo him.
no.
You know what I mean? Not to say that Axiom's bad in the ring because Axiom's fantastic as well, but if I had to pick one out of two to turn heel, I'll go with Axiom.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with Axiom being the heel guy in this. All right. Next is you have Wesley versus Zachary Wentz. On Tuesday, they had I guess, a thing in the ring where Wentz was the one doing most of the talking. Wentz pretty much owning up to his passing. I fucked up, but I was always there for you. Whenever you were in the hospital and your wife couldn't, you know, do whatever she needed to do for you, I was there for you. I took you to physical therapy. I fed you. You know, I was your brother and you turned your back on me. I always wish for your success. Now I want to see your downfall. And Wes, trying to look like he was getting emotional, but he was like, hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. I'm a WWE superstar. You're just a TNA wrestler.
Yep.
Yeah, Wesley's gonna win.
Oh yeah, 100%. They seem to be all in on this heel turn. So far so good. I like it. I like the character that he's going. He's like, I'm not a wrestler anymore. I'm a superstar. So I dig it. I dig it. But yeah, Wesley is definitely gonna win. Makes no sense otherwise.
Right. And just kind of small things I want to see out of this match. I don't want to see this match start off with a tie up. I want to see them beat the shit out of each other to start the match. That's what I want to see. And then main event, you have Ethan Page, the champion, versus Joe Hendry. Trick Williams added as a special guest referee after last week when Ethan Page prevented two referees from working the match. So Ava, sick of Ethan Page's antics said, "I'm going to add a special guest referee to kind of level the playing field," and ended up being Trick Williams. So, um, this is kind of one of those matches where you're not sure what's going to happen, because I mean, on paper, it should be Ethan Page winning, but you know, Joe Hendry is over. He's over in two companies. So I
Well,
mean,
he's not over too good. He's just over. Period. He's one of the most over wrestlers in right now in wrestling. So
right. So I don't know. Maurice Berry is saying Josh Alexander shows up. That'd be interesting.
well, I wouldn't be mad at that.
So I don't know.
I would
I
not
mean,
be mad at that.
I obviously love this NXT at TNA partnership. Just one small thing is like, we need to see more of the heavy hitters from NXT show up on TNA and not just Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame and Charlie Dempsey, which I like them. I like them, but it's just like, can we see more of the heavy hitters? Which I'm assuming that's going to be the case pretty soon. I mean, fucking have Obafemi show up on TNA and challenge Alexander Hammerstone, which give me that all day. Give me that 24/7. I want that, please. Um, yeah, that'd be big. More. Yeah. Whoosh. This is tough. This is tough. I don't know who. This could go either way, but I'm gonna say safe bet is Ethan Page wins, just so Trick Williams can kind of get his heat back against Ethan Page. So I'm gonna go with Ethan Page.
Yep. I totally agree. Based on what you said, 100%. Gotta go with all ego. But yeah, there's gonna be some shenanigans. Um, I was gonna throw it out there. I don't think it's going to happen, but I was gonna throw it out there. Could we possibly see a Trick Williams heel turn on Joe Hendry?
Hmm. You know
I don't
what?
know.
You know what? I was thinking that while I was watching the show because it's funny because like Ethan Page is like or not Ethan Page, Joe Hendry is thanking Trick for helping him out, and Trick is like, yeah, I believe in Joe Hendry, so it would be interesting. It would kind of make sense and maybe breathe some new life into Trick Williams.
And that'll probably get a reason Trick Williams to go to TNA too.
You're right. You're definitely right. Like that could be he could be on one of the pay-per-view cards against Joe. So that'd be interesting. I mean, that'd be interesting.
And TNA is gonna be here next month, so maybe that could be a pay-per-view match at here in San Antonio.
Oh yeah. Would you be going to that?
No,
Oh,
I
come
would
on.
love to, but I got my own things I'm worrying about right now.
Okay.
Budget, brother.
Oh, depend if there's cheap tickets. If there's cheap tickets, I'll go. Which is TNA, it should be cheap, but all right. Well, yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with Ethan Page, and yeah, just a Trick Williams heel turn. I'll Shawn Michaels on the first episode of SmackDown, where he super kicks Joe Hendry and costs him the title. So
Yeah, TNA's gonna have they're gonna have their event here 2 days for 2 days. So um Saturday, I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday. Yeah, and it's gonna be at the Techport Center.
what event is that?
This Victory Road.
Victory Road. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's
Then
cheap
then then
tickets,
they're, then they're doing a TNA Impact Champion, but I think tickets start off at $30 or something like that.
not bad. All right, but that's NXT No Mercy, people. Like we mentioned, we will be live this Saturday. Not well, Saturday also for Berlin pay per view, but this Sunday we'll be live right after NXT No Mercy, and Jeff Letman should be joining us. He should be joining us. He let me know he'll be specifically part of the shows on the NXT review. So it'll be us and Jeff as well as us and RJ on Saturday. So be there, people. We'll be live on Discord, on the Wrestling Soup Discord, as well as live on YouTube. So be there or be square, as they say. But that was NXT No Mercy. Let's talk about TV ratings, and then we'll call it a night. Pretty short night so far. So wrestling ratings. Let me just refresh the page. All right. So what day are we? All right. So AEW Dynamite from last week. Oh yeah, Wednesday, August 21st. They drew a 698. And that was the go home show for All Out, so not bad.
All in, yeah.
Point 24 and the demo. The previous week before was a 703. Point 23, so they kind of dipped a little bit.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded, so
Right. WWE SmackDown from Fox, August the 23rd on Friday, drew a 2.50 and a point 56 in the demo. The previous week, they were 2.252, so kind of a massive drop.
yeah, and they're probably gonna be down again, possibly because it's gonna be pre-recorded as well because they're going to Germany.
Right. AEW Rampage from August 23rd drew a 290 and a point 10 in the demo. The previous week there were 295 and a point 10 in the demo. So the demo stayed the same, but the rating was slightly off.
Yeah,
AEW
again,
Collision
again,
from
like all these shows were pre-recorded. Like Collision, Rampage, are all pre-recorded. So you know, anytime when shows are pre-recorded, like WWE or AEW, they're gonna suffer in the ratings.
Right. AEW Collision on Saturday the 24th drew a 442 and a .13 in the demo. The week prior, there were 406 and .13 in the demo, so they had a nice little increase. WWE Raw from the 26th drew a 1.796 and a .56 in the demo. The week prior, there were 1.641 and .50, so they had an increase on both accounts. And then NXT from last night drew a 615 and a .17 in the demo. The week prior, there was 639 and .16, so it was a slight drop. So those were the TV ratings, people. That's everything. That is our show for tonight, actually. I want to thank everybody for showing up and listening to the show on Discord and also YouTube. And as usual, I want to thank my man Justin here for doing everything. And I say this a lot, and I mean it. I'd be lost with that. So, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man, just shout outs to everybody. Shout out to the Wrestling Soup, Mr. Mish, for keeping us on this platform. And also our friends RJ, Monty. I know they just did a show earlier today, so look for that. Brooklyn Power Trip, Ruben Prime. We do our show Culture Attack. We'll be doing one this weekend on a very packed weekend of podcasting for us. And also Jeff Littman with his many shows, Hammerlock Hangover, Garden of Doom. Like I mentioned, he'll be part of our show on the NXT review this Sunday. Who else? Spitball Media with John Draper and B Show Brian Shaheen. They just did a show earlier. If you like movies, if you like horror movies mainly, movie trailers, you can watch them on YouTube. You can also listen to the audio portion as well and support their Patreon. It's only $5 a month. And Kevin Castle and Don Tony, BTKC. They do their show every Monday after Raw, like they did back in the day. So listen to them. Also listen to Kevin Castle. He also does a show with Mish every Wednesday for Wrestling Soup. And if I'm blanking on any other names, forgive me. Support all of our friends. Support everybody that supports us. And find me on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Get those numbers up. And DY Experience on Twitter, Instagram, and also there's a Facebook page. So enough about me. Justin, talk about Spinebuster Tees.
Yeah, of course, guys. You guys know where to follow me here. Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Have a array of t-shirts available for you on the website. Go check out the Just Enjoy Wrestling t-shirt, the I Am Pro Wrestling t-shirt, the Weapons of Pro Wrestling t-shirt, the Mash Types of Pro Wrestling t-shirt, the Vanilla Midget t-shirt. I haven't said this one in a while. The Hill Heat Pineapple Pizza t-shirt, because if you put pineapples on your pizza, you are a fucking idiot. Pineapples don't go on pizza, my friend. Just saying. And you're a heel if you do wear that. But anyway, yeah. So red t-shirts on spinebustertees.com. Follow me on Instagram. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. We are close. We're 7 followers away, and I hold my phone up right here. 7 followers away from 1,700 followers on Instagram. I appreciate everyone who has followed me so far, who's checked out everything that I have. And it's been a grind. Yeah, social media is a grind every day. I'm posting something of the great things I be getting in my shop. So check it out. Check out the library that I have in there. And also, that's for Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderland of the Americas, aka Crossroads Mall. And definitely come on out and see what I have, because I have not only t-shirts, not only action figures, not only Funko Pops, but lucha mask, wrestling socks, wrestling keychains, wrestling trading cards, wrestling DVDs. Eventually, I have DVDs now, but I'm kind of building the library up before I actually fully launch them. But I have a lot of things in my shop. Come visit if you're in the San Antonio area. Come check me out. You won't regret it. It'll be a great time. If you usually even want to come and talk in pro wrestling, that's also great as well. But so definitely follow me on Instagram. check out me at Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderland of the Americas and spinebustertees.com.
Yes, sir, people. All right, we are done for the night. Short show, but yeah, man, yeah, people. We will be seeing you this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and yeah, that's really all I have left to say, people. Have a good night. Take care and be safe.
Peace out.
And
Oh,
Pete.
no, so go ahead.
No, I was just trying to look for the recording to stop it. God damn it. What the hell was I? Oh yeah, peace out, people.